So yesterday I was going back and answering some comments on my channel, and I realized that over the last month I did a few first impressions that I never came back and did a full review on, and this was one of them. So this week I'm going to be catching up on some of those, I guess over the next week because it's already Saturday. With that said, we're going to be talking about my full review today of a brand new limited edition release by the House of Chanel. This is Chanel Allure Homme Sport Superleggera. So I wore it about 4 times now. So now we're going to be talking about my full review, giving you the full performance, all of that. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka FragranceDoud, coming back at you with another 2024 new release designer fragrance full review. And this one was a very looked forward to fragrance, not just this fragrance in general, but a brand new release from the house in general because it's been so long. The one before this one, which this one's a limited edition, was Bleu de Chanel Parfum, I believe. I don't remember what day that was. And that was the only worldwide release because there was this one, Edition Blanche, that was 2014, 2015 with the EDP EDT, maybe a little bit later than that. And that one was a boutique only, so it's not like retail and huge mass market. With that said, the last one in this line that was actually released like worldwide to all the big retailers and stuff was this one, and it is Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. One of the most versatile fragrances out there, and so everybody was looking forward to, like, there was rumors that Bleu de Chanel Elixir people were talking about, and Allure Homme Sport Elixir, all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden, there was this rumor about 2 months ago about this random ass fragrance, Chanel's Allure Homme Sport Superleggera. Superleggera is an Italian car brand that they have done collaborations with brands like Chanel before with watches and stuff like that. And they're just a random older classic Italian car brand. It was just like somebody announced it on Facebook, and I remember posting it, and I was like, why the heck would they do this? Like, it makes no sense. I can understand like European Italian limited edition release in Italy, maybe. I don't know, because in the United States, nobody, I mean, I'm in the fragrance community and I've never actually heard of Superleggera. I've never heard of it. And so they're doing it a limited edition release. So maybe the name Chanel will just draw people to buy it. With that said, I spoke to somebody from Chanel, which they've been wrong before, but I'm just going to tell you what they told me. The Chanel rep said that this fragrance will be released from September through the end of Christmas, and then they're going to start recalling it from the stores and then sell out the rest of the stock online. That is what I'm hearing. I don't know if that's true. I'm just letting you know that I got that straight from the mouth of a Chanel rep at a Macy's. With that said, today again we're doing my first full review of Chanel's Allure Homme Sport Superleggera. So my favorite three from the line, you can't really go wrong with any of the ones from this line, but my third favorite is Kashi. Very, very versatile, but honestly, it's like a 9.1, so I mean, that's my third favorite, is a 9.1. This one is the longest lasting one, surprisingly. It's the Eau de Toilette. It adds peach. It's my second favorite in the line. And then my favorite in the line is Allure Homme Edition Blanche, even though it only lasts like 3 to 4 hours. It's like a lemon cream pie with, oh, it's just so freaking good. Anyway, so this one, what's it all about? Well, we're doing the full review, so let me give you the note breakdown. The note breakdown for Allure Homme Sport Superleggera. Top notes are citrus, mandarin, and grapefruit. Mid note is woody notes and cedarwood, and the base notes are white musk, amber, patchouli, and sandalwood. It's weird. It's like they say citrus and then 2 citruses, woody notes, and then cedarwood. It's like, wouldn't that just be a citrus? Like, just tell us what the other citruses are. But anyway, so how does this fragrance smell? Honestly, when you first spray this fragrance on, it seems like it's going down the road of this. And I'm like real excited. I'm going to spray it on real quick. I just want to remind myself because I just was spraying on Tony Iommi's Deified. Man, that stuff's strong. Anyway, so when you first spray it on, it does have that citrus. It has that muskiness. It has a little bit of that powdery sweetness. And you think that it's going down the road and like that warm woods that you kind of get from the Edition Blanche. And while it does smell a bit more, I don't know the way to put it, almost like Ralph's Clubbish or Polo 67-ish. It has that more like Mass Appeal citrus medley. It's almost like a citrus medley version of this in the opening. It has almost like a little bit of like a warm, woody, sweet, creamy tone mixed together with that like citrus medley. And it seems like it's going to be something that's going to be really good. I was like, this is probably going to be the release of the year. It has an underlying green tone, though, that starts to kind of pull up. Not exactly sure what that's from because I was looking, maybe the green mandarin, the patchouli. I could smell the patchouli, but it's not. It's pretty faint, and that's not really bringing this green tone. So I'm maybe a green mandarin or maybe green bergamot is one of those random citruses. Not 100% sure, but it brings a like kind of odd green tone. This fragrance is nice through and through, but it is my least favorite from the entire Chanel Allure Homme line. I can wear it. Will I pull this? I'm going to be straight up honest with you. Over the next 5 years, I wear Chanel's. I wear this line probably almost as much as my YSL Y line. And so I probably wear at least one of these Chanel's every 2 days. And I probably won't pull this more than 1 or 2 times a year because the other ones in the line just do something better. And that's the best part of it is the opening, which gives you that Allure Homme DNA. As it gets to the dry down, that Allure Homme DNA kind of just goes out the window. And it almost gets, I've heard people compare it to a bunch of stuff. I had somebody say, to me, 19 Degree. I actually thought that was nuts at first. But if you actually smell pieces of the dry down, you're like, I understand where you're coming from. There is a fruity, darker, woody tone to this that I can be construed with that. I've heard a lot of Aventus. I've heard Aventus Cologne. I've heard Cedrat Boisé. That one makes no sense. But I honestly, I find this, the opening to be like an 8.5, but the dry down to be more like a 7. Maybe like a 6.5 to a 7. The dry down, it seems like it's trying to do more of that kind of like Polo 67, YSL Myself, where it's trying to get more into that 2023 and 2024 hype that is the like, I can't really, like the medley of citrus that comes across like a candy-like citrus. It seems like it's trying to do that with like a subtle floral tone and the woods, bringing in a bit of this kind of like ambery patchouli that has that Aventus style. It seems like it's trying to do too many things. And while it doesn't smell bad, when you get to the dry down, it does kind of lose that Allure Homme DNA. It loses that brightness. It loses that citrus. And it starts to become more of like this fruity, woody, ambery, woody tone. And I said woody twice there, but it's like an amberwood. It's like a fruity, woody amberwood. But it has an earthiness to it. It has a bit of this green, funky tone. It's not a bad fragrance whatsoever. It's mass appealing. If you wear this, you'll get compliments. And I'm not upset that I got the bottle, but I just know based on the fragrances that this reminds me of. Again, that best part of the fragrance reminds me of my favorite from the line, and I would rather wear this. The mid reminds me of Polo 67 meets YSL Myself, with that kind of like citrus candy medley that you mix together with a little bit of this and that and a little bit of like a woody tone, and that I would rather wear the other two. And then in the dry down, it gets like a little bit of the Polo 67 meets Aventus meets a little bit of the Allure Homme. It just doesn't know what it's trying to do. And that is where the issue is for me, is it's like, and it's not actually as complex as that. So I'm going to just say from the opening, it's that citrus. It's a little bit of that creaminess. It has like that almost like lemon cream pie, but it's more of like a citrus medley cream pie. Smells really nice for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then it starts to get into more of this candied citrus meets darker woody tones, a little bit of an ambery patchouli. As you work your way further in like 30 minutes, then it just starts to boil down to more of like a, smells almost like a fruity citrus. That's what it comes off like, mixed together with this amberwood tone and a little bit of like a earthy patchouli. And that is just where the fragrance kind of ends up with this musk around the edge. It's a very musky citrus fragrance with this amber woody back tone, and it just becomes kind of stagnant. And that's where the fragrance kind of falls off for me. And I think that, again, overall, it's probably like a 7.2. It's a slightly above average fragrance. I still think that there are going to be people that enjoy this fragrance, but I don't think that out of this Chanel line that it's a good release. I think that after all of the time that they waited to do another fragrance release from the house, I expected more from it. I think that Chanel and YSL both let us down this year with their penultimate fragrances being, and maybe they can make it up with like a Bleu de Chanel Elixir or whatever, but YSL Y Elixir just came out and it kind of went flat. This came out, went flat, so hopefully there's something on the horizon from the brand that does do it justice, but let's just get into performance. The performance of this is lackluster. It lives around the same as what we expected to get from this, which was about 7 hours, which is what this gets. And so not to confuse you, but it's right around this. It's about 4 to 5 hours. And the first hour and a half is actually well above average, and then it just kind of starts to sit more moderate into a skin scent hour 4 and 5. Not overall, it's just an average fragrance, and it's 180 to 200 bucks. Is it worth that price? I don't think so. I think you should try this out. You can find it at any Chanel counter at Macy's mostly, and you can find it at some Sephora's. So test it out. Let me know what you think in the comments, and that's my thoughts on Chanel's Allure Homme Sports Superleggera. Nothing special. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll be back with another one. Peace out.